Hello.
Welcome to our very first video of letting Tiana guess whatever the movies I present on screen are. So I'm gonna give her a few like visual cues, including like the poster and like names of the characters. And then in the second slide, I'm gonna show her like a curated brief clip. And then at the end, she's supposed to guess whatever the movie is about. And then this whole presentation is about love. So, like, every film has to do with romantic love in some way. And Tiana has like two questions. Like, she's able to ask two questions, I guess, after the clip is shown, right? And then
Mhm.
she'll envision or like guess what the film is about.
Okay.
Are we excited?
Okay. Yes.
All right.
This is a very experimental design. I love
Okay.
it.
So the first film I'm presenting, it's named Love in the Afternoon. It's a French film, and the main characters are the ones shown. So from this slide, I guess, what are you able to gather as a psychology major, right? Like, what are you able to gather?
I honestly don't think my psychology major is gonna help me that much here. But okay, let's see. So the genre that you gave this movie is smoldering
Oh
stillness.
yeah, right. Yeah, I like made up the genres for all of these films. Yeah.
I love your choice of words. Okay, this doesn't count as a question. I hope it doesn't count as one of the two questions, but does it mean that there are a lot of like silent points in the film? A lot
Um,
of tension
I would say
filled
no. I
silence?
would say
No.
no.
Okay. It's stillness. It's smoldering stillness, not just any stillness. It's smoldering stillness. And we have Chloe, Frederick, and Helene?
Hmm.
Helen? Hmm. I don't know. And let me see. So, on the poster, I'm guessing that's Chloe and Frederick.
Hmm.
Why is
Do you want to just go ahead and watch the clip first?
yes.
Okay. Like this clip I selected because this film is pretty old and there's not a lot of options. So like I had to download something from TikTok. It doesn't have anything to do with the relationship between the guy and the two girls, but it just probably gives you a sense of what might happen and the tone of the movie. So
Et le temps qui n'est pas si lointain où je pouvais éprouver moi aussi les affres de l'attente. Je rêve d'une vie qui ne soit faite que de premiers amours et d'amour durable. Je te fais attendre. One days we were together.
yeah.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
very French. It's very French. So that was Frederick in the
Mhm.
first cutscene, right?
And these two people don't matter. They're just passerbys.
And he's just observing them. I'm
Hmm.
guessing so he wants a love like no other. He wants a love that, can the love of a lifetime, the one true love. He's wanting something like that.
Hmm.
Um, can you pull to the beginning of the clip and let me see the guy again?
Yeah.
Frederick.
Et le temps.
I'm guessing I have no idea. Why does he have like pudgy fingers? But is he younger? I'm guessing, wait, can you let me see the library, Helene and Chloe.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm guessing like Frederick is a very sensitive and a little bit aloof kind of person.
Okay.
I don't know, a tiny bit. Just based on the picture that you chose to like show me, right? With his
Hmm.
head and his shirt.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know, is he younger than Chloe?
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. I
Sorry
what?
about that.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Um, he looks like hasn't really fully woken up yet. You know what I mean?
He just looks like that throughout the film.
Yeah, he looked sleepy, but it's really hard just to tell with three pictures and a 10-second clip.
Yeah. Um,
Love in the
So you can ask, like, feel free to go bold with the questions too. Like maybe something like, what's the relationship between?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask that. So, can you tell me what the relationship between these three people are?
Okay, Chloe here is an
Uh-huh.
old friend to Frederick, and then Helene is his wife. I think that
Mm,
narrows down. Yeah.
okay, okay. Um, so what I'm guessing here, this is so cliche, but Frederick and Helene, they're a couple, right?
Uh-huh.
They're man and wife. But Chlo he hasn't seen Chloe in a very long time.
Hmm.
And Chloe was his like friend, but was also his, I don't know, first love or crush that he never got to say or open up to.
Hmm.
That's Chloe. And then one day, I don't know, they met at some rando cafe in the afternoon and they started chit-chatting. I don't know. And Helene is trying hard to be this like really good wife, but Frederick keeps distancing himself away because he sees Chloe as more than a friend.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. No, that's I would say like parts of that are pretty accurate. What do you think happens here in the photo? My mouse is not showing on screen, but like with the Frederick photo. It's a key moment in the film actually.
I don't know. Maybe like he had an affair with Chloe and Chloe had, like sucked marks all over his neck and he woke up in the morning and he was gonna change, but he couldn't change in front of Helene, so he went into the bathroom and started just like changing like that so Helene wouldn't see the marks. I don't
Oh wow. What do you think happens in the end? The relationships are more or less accurate. I'll just give you that confirmation. But what do you think happens with the three of them, like at the end?
Can I ask my last question? I have to make it count. Um, what kind of person is Helene?
She's pretty much an enigma throughout. Um, Pretty calm, doesn't really say much. It's a pretty dialogue heavy film, but her lines are minimal.
So she's the hmm hmm. Okay, so it's not as cliche as I thought, but I don't know. I guess Frederick never like he feels like he can never speak or connect with Helene in a way that he wants, like the way he aspires
Hmm.
in his life's one true love, and is more like a symbolism like of his marriage. Like there's this person as a symbol as my wife, but we don't really connect the way a true love should connect. So that's why he's setting all his emotions and desires and wishes on Chloe, even though he doesn't know how true of that is. And they
Hmm.
do connect in a way that leads him to believe that she is his one true love. So I don't know, they keep having affairs is what I'm guessing because this is a French movie.
Okay.
I don't know. Um, I feel like in French movies the stillness is, but it's like um it's something that it's very passionate French movies.
Hmm.
So I think they'll be open about their passion and feelings for each other. And I don't know. Chloe, it seems like Frederick is the one that's trying to lead and steer this relationship, this affair into something that he wants, but emotionally and psychologically, it's Chloe that's taking the upper hand.
Mm. So what you're saying is that he enjoys being an M and he needs an S. Yeah, in his relationship with Helene, he feels like he's the S, he's the Dom, and he doesn't want to be like that person in a relationship.
Some of that maybe, yeah. Not
I
not
guess since
completely though.
since
Yeah.
this is our first video, I'm gonna just like go ahead and spoil if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me know if there's any film that you are
I
genuinely.
want to watch.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do that for that film specifically. But essentially you're correct about, the triangular relationship between the three, which I think is obvious. But Chloe wasn't really like an old lover, and they're more just friendly, and he never perceived her as like any like possibility, that kind of thing. But like she's super cute, and she started visiting him at his like office every afternoon, like making plans with him, and she's a go-getter, I guess, pretty aggressive. And um at first he entertained having an affair with her, and he was being like pretty. There were a lot of kisses in the film, but like not on the lips, on like the face, because it's like European, I guess. But they got
Oh.
pretty steamy sometimes, which the smoldering part, I guess, because there's a lot of intensive flirting, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, are they gonna like smash or no? Um, but like actually, like this picture you see right here of Frederick,
Hmm.
like Chloe just came out of the shower, and then uh she's like, dry me like with the towel, and he was like drying her from behind and like probably like suppressing a boner or something like that kind of, but there's no explicit like images of anything going on. And then she seductively like lied down on her bed and like just like looked back at him like seductively, and then
Hmm.
he was like, okay, give me 1 second, and he was about to like take off his clothes, and then he saw himself in the mirror and he looked like a clown, so he exited through the bathroom drawer, and he left Chloe's apartment, which he helped her move
Wow.
into previously. And then he immediately went back to the office. He's like, Helene, what are you doing? Let me get back to you. And she just like finished delivering a baby with him. Like, she was pregnant. And then,
Damn.
yeah, once he got back, Helene was looking pretty distraught, and he was like, I realized blah, blah, blah. Like, and they're both middle class, right? And Chloe's more
Hmm.
like no class. Like, she was trying to get a job, and like she had like a modeling career that she got into by probably having to sleep with people because of the industry, that kind of thing. So she's more
Hmm.
like blue collar or no collar, that kind of thing. And they are both like pretty middle class and pretty boring. So because he's boring, he couldn't entertain an affair.
Damn.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was also pretty pent up from like the Chloe thing. So he was pretty desperate, wanted to smash with Helene because of displacement, I guess, a psychology term.
Yeah.
And then he was feeling weird, and he's like, wait, do you have someone here at our house? And then she's like, he's gonna come back at 5 p.m. I'm gonna cancel with him. And they smash. Yeah. So that's the end. What's your face about? Like, what are your thoughts?
Wait, what? What?
Yeah. So the plot twist for me at least was that Helene was having an affair as well, but she's actually doing it. He was entertaining it, and he was a coward, and he didn't
So
pursue
he
it.
is an M.
Yeah, I guess. He's a sub.
Okay, okay.
He's a
Okay, I
cuck.
think I think I got 60% of it right.
Yeah. Like the relationship part, and also like the dynamics, I guess, like what they want out of a relationship.
Yeah,
So
it means that they chose the actors really well.
Chloe was like such an aggressive go-getter, which I love. She's like, I'm gonna get pregnant by you, but you don't have to father the kid. I just feel like you should be the father. But
Whoa. Okay.
like you don't have to be a part of this
That's
fathering.
very advanced mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a stark contrast between these two people. And I guess it's more like in that era, I guess it would be the flipping of like the sexual roles, not the
Like
sexual,
kind
like
of
the
sexual
gender roles.
revolution of the 60s to the 70s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
Like the
free
men should
love.
be out getting an affair, but meanwhile the women are free and also actively having affairs. Yeah,
Actively like wrecking houses, wrecking relationships, and having affairs.
yeah.
Yay. Like, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it twists your normal conception and it takes you to a more, advanced. mindset setting.
Like in
That's
this
good.
film, like this guy was just so frustrating. Like, is he gonna do it? You know, like I was like, what are you doing? Like, because they were flirting so much, and
Yeah.
I was gonna bust, you know, like because nothing was happening. They were just like intensive kissing and hugging, that kind of thing. And they were so pent up, both of them. But Chloe was like okay with the being pent up because she probably have other options, but him being a loser doesn't really have
If
those.
you change stillness to like apprehension, maybe I would have guessed more, Smoldering apprehension.
Apprehension or like will they or won't they or will he or won't he, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, noted. Okay.
For this next one, do you want Rex to join on the side? He could like pitch in and I could translate.
Yeah, is he able to see the screen?
Can you see? Does it sound fun?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was
I'm
too
playing
engrossed
anywhere.
in the game.
Okay. No,
Sounds
for this part, I guess I can score you guys separately. I
what
mean,
what
I
do you?
wouldn't have like a score. I'll just say who is more accurate.
I feel I'm gonna be pretty good at guessing the story.
Oh, he's
Okay.
confident.
He
He's
feels
getting
confident.
confident. Oh,
Excellent.
okay.
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 Let's
This is a romance film. You're getting confident way too early.
go. Okay, so these are the main three characters, Jean, Charles Pike, and then Colonel Harrington. And the genre straight up, because Barbara Stanwyck is the actress of Jean, and I feel like this film is all about her, in my opinion. But I guess that's not like a great hint.
The Lady Eve.
Hmm. What do you see in this one? And like, what are some hints you're gathering, I guess, from
I don't know. Charles seems out of it.
okay, like in a chokehold?
He looks like he's in a trance. He looks like his soul has left his body and is looking at upon them from afar.
Hmm.
And Jean looks very happy.
Uh-huh.
Um, okay.
And the
I don't
colonel,
know who
I
this
like.
colonel guy is. He looks
He's playing cards, I see.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
he's
just give you a
shuffling?
hint right now, actually.
Okay.
Like card dealing is kind of his career. Like the this thing is kind of his career. You
So
can
he's in
take
a
that.
casino?
Um,
There's some private club.
it's a 1941 movie. The censorship is pretty heavy, so there won't be anything too risque.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Charles looks, I don't know. He looks rich,
Okay.
well-groomed, rich.
Hmm.
Um, not very comfortable with woman hugging him so passionately. Um, Jean, well, if it's set in 1940s, then what Jean is doing right now is kind of not, not the norm, not the social norm for women. She's being outwardly, fond of a man, and I guess that's considered, I wouldn't say wrong, but just absurd in
Hmm.
that era, kind of, a
Hmm.
little bit. Um, I don't know. There's too little to go on. Like,
I think this clip might be a bit more illuminating than the last. Okay, here.
Very sorry, sir. It's all right.
Why don't you look where you're going?
Why don't I look?
Look what you did to my shoe. You knocked the heel off.
Oh, I did? Well, I'm certainly sorry.
You didn't. You can just take me right down to my cabin for another pair of slippers.
Oh, well, certainly. I guess it's the least I can do. By the way, my name's Pike.
Oh, everybody knows that. Nobody's talking about anything else. This is my father, Colonel Harrington. My name is Jean. It's really Eugenia. Come on.
Yeah.
oh,
You ready
uh,
for your two questions yet?
wait. So Colonel is Jean's father.
Hmm.
Um, are car dealers considered like, high in social status in the past?
Um, no, but like being good at a hobby could mean two things, I guess, and that correlates to the two characters here. I'll just say it, like either being rich or you are like a swindler, basically.
S Swindler as in
Like
杀猪盘
you're like kind of you're really good at like the card trick, like 出老
What?
千, trying like
Oh, okay, okay.
you're able to
That's
swindle money out of people playing by playing cards.
Jean did it on purpose, right? If I'm,
Hmm. Okay, that's your two
you know,
question.
wait, that's not two questions. I'm just saying this is a fact, right? Like
Okay.
Jean did this on purpose. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
get rich men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Attract his attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, from the clip, you can tell that Jean obviously knows who Pike is
Mm-hmm.
because she's like, that's what everyone's been talking about. So, it's obvious that she already had a goal, and that goal was Pike. So that was her target,
Mm-hmm.
and she used this you know, kind of like skit to get what she wanted and attract his attention.
Mm-hmm.
And later, I guess she wanted to 骗取他的感情和金钱.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be, to get, I don't know, just translate that later. But but then um what she didn't know was that she would actually start to fall in love with Pike
Okay.
while okay, this is too cliche. This is like based on hundreds of shitty romance novels. And then Pike later, he's like, okay, I know what she's doing, but he plays along with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing from that, oh, that's not the right plot, but but
That's
that's
your psychology major being accurate.
no, that's my shitty romance novels kicking into play. But what would you guess, Rex, what would you guess the ending would be?
Okay, I
Yeah,
will just say I will t let you know that you were right about him realizing that she's not who she said she was. So what happens after?
so my guess clearly isn't right. Has to pour her heart in.
Uh-huh. Okay. Tiana, what are your guesses? Mm-mm.
I don't know, I already made my guess. I know it's not right, but
Okay.
my stupid brain can't jump out of it. Uh,
Dude,
Um,
I will award my points to neither of you because that's not
okay,
what
we
happened.
both got it wrong.
It's like the direct opposite to what Rex was talking about, actually. Like she was also pissed too. She was like, he dumped me, how dare he? So she like started swindling big time. She assumed another identity called the Lady Eve from like England or something, and she like assumed this fake accent. And then she came by his house. She's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not Jean. I'm the Lady Eve." And then like he was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks exactly like my old love." Maybe they were just both pretty like shallow and stuff. And then he started courting her, and then she's like, "Ha, like gotcha." And then like they got married under a fake identity. But then on their wedding night, she's like, "Hey, by the way, I have this pretty checkered past. I've slept with this man, this man, this man, this man." And like the editing here is pretty interesting because like it doesn't they can't really say I've split with this person. So they use a lot of like euphemisms and also a lot of like rain plattering on like windows
Oh,
and like trays entering holes, like that kind of like imagery to allude to what she was talking about. And then with
damn.
each reveal, and they were all lies, right? And he got progressively pissed because he is pretty like upper class and pretty like
Yeah.
prim proper. So he's like, another one? What do you mean another one? Another one? And then like by the end of the wedding night, he was so pissed that he got off the boat and then he was like, I can't be with this checkered woman. And then for some reason, he was like, but I know where I want to be. And they got on the same ship that him and Jean met on the first night. And he's like, oh, I can forgive you being a swindler. Let's smash. And then that's like he can't
Wow.
be with someone who's sexual, but he can be with someone who's lying.
Who's swindling? Yeah.
Yeah, which was unexpected in this film for me. Um,
That is unexpected. And
so
that's
either
funny. Trains
neither,
entering
yeah.
sh caves. That's
Yeah.
okay, we suck at this.
I mean, Love in the Afternoon movie. It was pretty accurate, I would say.
But
Um,
this one is creative. Like I can't guess two creative movies. My mind is not functioning that way today.
maybe if you think of a cliche, go the opposite direction. I'm not giving you a hint, but like,
That's very interesting.
yeah, that film I straight up really loved. This one is more of like a
Is it Wang Jiawei?
no, it's Guan Jinpeng, Stanley Kwan. He made 蓝雨 as well, which 刘烨 and Hu
Empty
Jin.
faces. Empty faces
Okay.
mirroring each other.
No worries. So yeah, this film is called Rouge, and these three photos are a bit of a hint in terms of the times of this movie, and then the genre I created is tracing those phantom dreams. And from these photos, like what are some hints or clues?
Something related to opera. Maybe they are working in theater or something.
Okay.
Wait, can I ask for clarification? This is not one of the questions. In the upper right photo, who's that woman? Is it
It's
Ruhua or
如花, it's
actual?
如花.
It's Ruhua.
Hmm.
Huh. Ruhua's actress looks very familiar.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw.
that's Ruhua.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Chen Zhenbang is 张国荣.
oh, that doesn't help with anything though.
It does.
Um,
Because
it's
with like household names, you know they are the stars and not the people on the like lower right
oh,
corner, you know?
so she's saying they're the main characters, not them, because you don't know them.
Yeah, because household names, like who would, hire the people on the lower right to be stars over 张国荣 and 梅艳芳?
That is very true. Um, Phantom Dreams. I have no clue.
Okay.
Um, let me wait. Do you have ideas?
I mean, just by looking at tracing those phantom dreams, I'm assuming they are just like they're working at theater, and maybe like when around that time, people not really fond of like looking opera or something, so they are kind of like not popular anymore, and they're trying to get their life back on track. Just by looking at the pictures, can't really tell much.
So what Yuan Yongding see like an opera show and he saw Ru Hua and he was like, "Damn!" And then
Shit, it's good.
yeah, and then started, I don't
Some
know,
money.
maybe, but
You
this is
want
a
that
real
clip?
movie, don't forget. Yeah, let's
You want
watch
that
the clip.
clip?
咩事咧？
我想登告白揾人，你寫12少3811老地方等你，如花。
That's the end.
What? Again. Huh?
Wait,
Okay.
Wait, missing person?
Mm-hmm.
Who's missing?
I'll give you a hint actually. You're right about the opera working aspect, but they're from different times. Like, so Ru Hua and Chen Zhenbang are from a different time than Yuan Yongjing and Ah Chu. And the photo on the upper right is my hint of like them being from different times.
Was this like something related to afterlife or something like those
Hmm?
settings?
Opera
Afterlife?
life?
No, it's like when you dead and
Reincarnation?
Is that your question?
No, that's his question.
Okay. It's not reincarnation. But you're right about like that kind of supernatural genres, but not reincarnation. That's not the.
So my guess is Ruhua somehow ended up in a different era and then she wants but it's also similar. It's not that far apart. So Yuan Yongding would be and Ah Chu would be living closer to the modern timeline and they would be living further away from that timeline. But Ruhua ended up in the modern timeline and she's looking for Chen Zhenbang because they had some sort of um they made some sort of vow or promise to each other that they
Mm.
wanted to fulfill or something like that.
Mm.
But Yuan Yongding, I don't know, ended up falling in love with her and didn't want her to go back.
Okay. What about
Who's Achu? That's my
you
first
want to guess?
question.
Ah Chu was Yuan Yongding's girlfriend.
That I know, like other thing. That's obvious.
Um, I mean, I think her role is more to like juxtapose the two sets of relationships.
Oh,
So what I'm saying is like Ru Hua and Chen Zhenbang might have a different kind of understanding of what love might be than what Yuan Yongding and Ah Chu believe in.
so Ruhua and Chen Zhenbang have a more, I don't know, like their relationship is harder and more challenged by the times,
Mm-hmm.
but so it's also kind of more passionate in a way and slow burning in a way. I don't know if that's the right word. But for Yuan Yongding and Achua, they live in the modern times. They look well off. They don't really have to care about life that much, aside from, working in a job and whatnot. So it was Ru Hua's appearance was like striking a blow in the head for Yuan Yongding. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe that kind of relationship and that kind of love exists. Um, so Ru Hua becomes something of like a dream to him.
Mm.
What are your guesses? You can't say they're the same as mine. He's rolling his eyes.
Do you want to ask your second question, Rex, for you to make your
Yeah,
guess?
like feel like by the clip you showed us, like clearly Ruhua write something to someone, maybe Yuan Yongding about like she will be waiting for him at the same old place. That's kind of like part of like I got confused like how long they know each other before. It seems like they know each other for a really long time, but when you say they're in different time, like there's time travel and shit, I was like really confused by like how is the timeline going? It's like the Ruhua time travel to the modern society for like so like many years are just recently, and then who's the letter she's writing to?
Okay. So I can
Yeah.
clarify. I guess I won't say too much, but Yuan Yongding works at like a 报社, right? Like a
Mhm.
newspaper that kind of like he publishes stories and like especially like missing person, finding this person, that kind of thing. So no, a letter. It's addressed to Chen Zhenbang. She's like, Chen Zhenbang, I'm waiting for you at the same old location.
Okay,
So
okay,
I got
okay.
that part
That's
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
that's good. So
Um,
I was looking for Chen Zhenbang still, but and so that means she doesn't know she time traveled, but that's impossible. But she still like want to find him after. no matter how many years.
And you're right about like her being in modern society for quite a while. Like, what do you think the supernatural ac element is for her rep appearance to be the same?
Wait, is she a vampire?
Mm?
Is she a vampire?
She's not a vampire. What do you mean? It might be a thing that's sustaining her presence there.
What do you mean, a
The,
thing? I,
So
the Rouge thing.
that
I don't
dude
know.
oh, okay. Interesting, interesting.
never aged and never die. It wasn't time travel. She just leave like probably
Oh,
for years.
wait, no. She's a phantom. She's a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right. So she's like, oh, so Ruhua and Chenrong, I guess like Ruhua died of some unprecedented accident or something, or there was like a tragic murder or something, we don't know. But Ruhua died, but her confusion and her anger and whatever emotions she had in the end,
Turn into Yugui.
yes, was so strong that she turned into a ghost and was still roaming the streets, but she was still trying to look for Chen Bang even after many, many years after her death.
Actually, her death has to do with some sort of like old ritual between lovers. And that's
殉情只是古
yeah.
老的传言.
Yeah. Maybe I should just say what happens in this film. Um, I guess I feel like this film is so interesting because it like contrasts like two different mindsets regarding and like two different times, regarding like what romantic love should look like. Ruhua and Chen you're right. Their love was tougher because she came from lower class and she worked at like the flower houses, like, 青楼. Yeah.
嗯
And she's one of the performers. And then Chen Zhenbang was really rich. He was like 四少, like
嗯
maybe I should have put that in instead of his actual name here. So there's a pretty drastic class difference between the two. So when he got into performing himself and he wanted to be with her, obviously it's a no-go in those times. So out of desperation, they were like committing double suicides. And before the dying part, she's like, okay, let's both die and then we'll meet in the afterlife. And then she became a ghost and she was waiting for him at like a probably I forget probably the performing house, like where they
Yeah.
first met, but like because the city was transformed, everything was so different. I like this film because it shows how like the city Hong Kong, like how the city's like geography and like architecture and everything, like the cityscape has transformed in 50 years. But then she was trying to find him and she couldn't. And those two people on the lower corner, Yuan Yingting and Achu, they were trying to help her by way of going to vintage shops, looking through newspapers. And then I forget exactly what happens, but she realizes this one old actor who knows who Chen Jinbang is, and then she realizes that he didn't actually die in the suicide. Like he remained alive for 50 years and he
Oh,
chose to work
shit.
as an actor. He didn't have the balls to commit suicide with her, and she waited for him for 50 years. And now she knows that he's a coward. She's able to perish in content. Yeah, she's like,
I
okay,
would not perish in content. I would turn into something else entirely.
you will be a vampire.
His guess, not mine.
But now, like, she realizes that her love was so big and his love was so petty and not as grand. She was like, okay, you're not my match. And we shouldn't
If
belong
you want to turn this into a TV series, just make Yuan Yongding the actor's offspring.
together.
That would be a whole new 7 episodes of something.
That would be like more of a soap opera. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
think I won.
Yeah, no, you definitely did. And also, like, there was a discussion between Yuan Yongding and Achu where she's like, "Will you kill yourself for me? Like, will we like die by double suicide because of our love?" And the other person's like, "Of course not." Like,
Very
one time.
realistic and down to earth. Of course not. Yeah.
Like, what do you think? What do you guys think about the two loves? Like, which one do you stand by? Like,
I think 如花 and 陈振邦when I was, I don't know,
younger?
17,
Yeah,
19. But you know,
of
it's
course
it's
not.
we're all productions, we're all just like products of the times, right? Like everything is just a sign of the times. So, um, it'll have to depend. If you've been through tougher things, if you live in an era where everything is hard, where it's the apocalypse, it's the end of the world, I don't know, emotions and everything else comes fierce. So it'll make sense. But you know, if you don't have other shit to worry about and it's just living together as a couple and having dinner on the table, having I don't know, warm clothes on your back and having a place to stay, that doesn't come as fierce or I don't know.
Or bold or a sign of love.
Yeah, because you don't have to. It's not like your lives are at stake. It's just money and it's different. The stakes are very different.
So in this like contemporary time, what's the most drastic thing you envision yourself do when you can't get who you love? Or when something is preventing you from like being with someone who you love?
I
Like
would
what's
just
the
give.
most drastic thing?
He said I would just give up. That's the most drastic thing you can think of.
Tiana, how does that make you feel? Like,
That makes me feel neutral because I'm an adult now. I'm a mature adult now. Think of something else.
What else you wanted me to do? Like, I'm gonna die with someone?
Not die, but just like the
like the most drastic thing you could do, like giving up is the least drastic thing you could do.
yeah, so
I would
anticlimactic.
just kill the other one, and I don't know.
Kill the other person?
Yeah,
The
You see
third person
yourself doing
or the
that?
person that you can't get?
that's the person I can get. Like, yeah, I'll just kill whatever turn
The
myself into.
person who's getting in your way, you'll kill that person. That's
Or
the like
all of them.
All of them, he says.
realistically speaking, you see yourself doing that? What?
I don't
How does that make you feel, Tiana?
You,
Nowadays, it's 2025. I may not gonna do that, but if it's 100 years ago, I probably gonna do that.
Okay.
oh, you asked for drastic. He's
Yeah,
giving you a, he's giving
you
you,
got what you got.
So if he were Sejong, he would have killed his entire family to be with this person.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I didn't do anything wrong, I guess. I hope. I hope.
kill the governors or something. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Kill the person responsible for the rigid class structures. I see. Good,
Exactly, yeah.
good answer. What about you?
I don't know. I think if it's now, well, all my drastic movements are drastic only to myself. You know, I do a lot of things to 感动自己, but it doesn't really affect other people. People might feel, oh, this person is such a bore, or, um,
Not after you kill 20 people.
no, that's you. I'm talking about me. Or like, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot.
Like
But,
you,
uh,
you're good at like making yourself feel good about.
yeah, like you make yourself suffer because you're kind of at that state. I don't know. I think in a contemporary world, if you do something super, super drastic, like I don't know, murder someone or whatever, that just means your frontal lobe hasn't developed well enough for you to control your emotions or logical thinking or whatnot. Because I don't know, like you love yourself more than you love that other person. The other person that you love is basically just an image of what you think is the true love for you.
Mm,
And you're doing lots of different things to make yourself suffer so that you can feel how big that love is, even if the other person doesn't give back anything to you. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Oh yeah, I got another one. My boss used to tell me Like if you put mineral oil, I just those kind of oil you use to like sharpen a knife, put on an oil
Uh-huh.
stone. If you put mineral oil in people's coffee or tea, they will have the worst diarrhea in their life.
So that's what he's gonna commit in contemporary times.
Well, I
Give
didn't kill
people
anyone.
diarrhea.
I kind of freaked the love, but who's gonna know?
There's a
Wow.
film called 双十记, and spoiler alert, I guess. Like in that film, like there's two women again and like a man, and then he's cheating on his wife, but his wife has realized that. So she's been slowly poisoning him from the beginning of the film, and he has these
Mm.
weird like symptoms and like falling hair and whatever. And at the end, he's completely paralyzed because she's been slowly poisoning him by food because she's a good cook.
A scarier version of Phantom Thread.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has to be by her side because he's in a wheelchair and she's pushing him around.
Yeah, that kind of 病娇 is like something you read in books and you feel like, oh
It's not
damn,
being jealous,
that's
but it's more revenge because she's the wife and she realizes he's
oh
cheating.
yeah, he yeah, yeah, cheating. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But I don't know, like a lot of people like what's the English word for it? The 病娇.
Yandere,
Yeah, yandere genre and stuff, but I feel like I do too. Reading novels and stuff,
real life.
that's an escape from reality, right? Like you feel like, oh, that's the most extreme kind of love anyone can experience, and it gives you a high. But in reality, it'd be creepy as shit. Yeah.
But I guess in like fictions, the difference is like in fictions, the consequences aren't that bad. Like the Yanare isn't gonna commit suicide or like double suicide or kill people. The Yanare, the most extreme things they can do is something probably sexual or like stalking.
Yeah, yeah, like in real life, but in books they can do anything they want, right? So,
Like murder in books, in those books you read.
yeah, like the really extreme ones. You have no
Okay.
clue what I'm reading. Like
Okay.
it can get really bad, you know? Like,
Okay, okay. I'll just have to take your word for it. Okay. Let's move on to the final film, I guess.
huh?
Yeah. I think the two only two people who matter in this one is the ones that are shown on screen, Harold and Maud.
Bawled my eyes out.
Yeah,
What is Accutane?
it's like something that cures like acne, and it just dries me out,
Uh,
like no tears for a year.
oh my God. Even the tears, I thought it was only like facial oil and
It's
and
also like I guess hormonal, like it just controls your emotions. I was like feeling pretty blank.
damn.
So what are some cues you got her?
Young boy
Seems to be
and
and then and then grandma.
MILF.
Call that a MILF? No, I wouldn't.
Oh, that's not a MILF? Wait,
Grandma
what is a MILF again?
mother who um
Oh, that's not a,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe it's some
grand milf.
GILF? Why is Granny driving the motorcycle? How do you pronounce her name?
Maud.
Maud?
Maud.
Maud.
Hmm.
Um, Maud is trying to start a motorcycle, and Harold is looking
No,
with
I don't think that's her motorcycle. I think that's Harold's
Harold's
motorcycle.
motorcycle.
They're just like doing some like those romantic thing. Like
I
no,
can
I
show you a clip now.
Yeah, let's get the clip.
I would say that it's related to this image in a way.
Tony, do you dance?
Pardon me?
Do you sing and dance?
No.
No. I thought not.
That woman! She took my car!
That's me driving in my 70s. Um, I don't, what? Like, I couldn't make the words out. Was it German?
No.
What, really? I couldn't hear clearly.
She's like, Tell me, do you dance?" But she's like, "Do you dance?" And then he's like, pardon me, and she's like, do you dance? And then he's like, no. And she's like, I thought not. And then she's like, haha, see ya. She drove away.
Okay, I couldn't hear anything that she was saying. I don't
Did
know
you
if it was
hear
the
the
audio.
guy at the end?
I didn't even hear haha. I didn't even hear haha. Well, she drove away, and that guy was like, she took my
Yeah,
car.
yeah, yeah.
I like that kind of blue. Rex and I have a dispute over blue cars. I really like some blue cars, like shades, the blue shades, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a blue car. We should get a blue car. But he's like, blue cars don't keep their worth. When you sell it secondhand, they
Okay.
instantly like 50% or less of their original worth. But I'm like, I don't care. I just like blue cars. And every time I see a blue car on the streets, I point it out. That's a good blue car, and he gets pissed. That's the
I don't
blue
get
car.
pissed.
That's the blue car dispute.
I don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah, he goes speechless. But that was a good blue car. That was a very cute blue car.
It's
Um
very old-timey. Is that what you're going
yeah,
for? Okay. Old.
no, just a blue shade. I like
Okay.
certain blues. Um I don't know. What's the can that I don't this doesn't
Yeah.
count as a question because I can't see. But what are the small words in cursive on the poster?
Okay. It doesn't really help you in any way because it's just the actors' names.
Oh, it's just their names?
Yeah. In a Hell Ashby film, like the director's name. Like there are more illuminating posters, but I didn't choose them
Why would you not choose them? Okay.
because they just spoil too much, I think.
What are your guesses? You go first.
I, I don't know. I would say Maud. She seems like a bit. I don't know, psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah, I would just say she have like too much energy of her age,
Mhm.
and I don't know. She got bored with her daily life, and she met a little young boy, which really
Don't say a little young boy.
attractive.
I'm assuming he's not underage, is he?
But he's
No,
really
no, he's a young
underage.
adult.
He's a young adult. Yeah, he's a young adult.
I mean, he looks like 20-ish.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
And this is a very, very sad or I don't know, touching film because she would have cried really hard if it weren't for her meds.
I can't imagine where. But it's really touching. I guess Maud died at
That's
the end
my
of the
guess
movie.
too. She passed away.
They were really happy before, and because her age or some sort of accident, she died.
The really cliche guess, it's not my guess, but the really cliche guess would be that Maud wanted to have fun in the late years of her life and she's diagnosed with some disease that can't be cured and she meets Harold and Harold's like strict, he never has fun and he's just like I'm just gonna do what I have to do and what the social norms are. Like, I'm just this kind of really rigid person. And then Maud sees him and changes him and brings him out of his shell. But in the end, Maud passes away and tells her, live a happy life, Harold. And Harold does as she says, but never marries because he cannot forget Maud. That's the super cliche guess, but that's not my guess. I need to come up with a different
I'm
guess.
giving you one question. Are they actually fall in love? Like, no, those like like
Yeah.
parents do. Okay, they actually fall in love.
Yeah.
I wish you could see his expression. His expression is funny. Um, don't judge, okay? Love is
No,
love. Love is love. But I'm surprised too, but love is love. Um, oh,
What are your questions that you could still?
this is not my question, just a general on the
You're
side
just
question.
wasting
No,
your opportunity
I'm
to
not
ask
even gonna.
anything.
I feel like okay, I'm gonna phrase it so it isn't a question. I feel like Maud really likes like automobiles and cars and motorbikes, that kind of stuff on wheels.
I think it's more of like a symbolism or like a metaphor for the kind of person she is.
She wants to live fast and furious.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of thing.
I don't know. I think we need more hints.
You need more questions. Just ask them. You need more.
I
Yeah.
I want a question that can, dig out the truth.
Okay.
I can't waste my questions. What changed in Harold's life after meeting Maud?
Okay. So I would say like the adventurous part definitely. And then before he is pretty fascinated with death. Like the beginning of the film is just him staging his death in front of his family. A, to get attention, B, because he's bored, I guess. So he was just, and he looks super pale throughout, so it makes sense for people to think of him as a corpse. He was- Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'm guessing. So if you say like he's a he's a emo boy or emo adult, whatever. So and maybe by some chance, probably I don't think he will be volunteering like taking care of old people kind of thing. But anyway, by accident they met, and cause Maud have like too much energy for her age, and maybe Maud also can tell Harold is not in the good mental health situation, so she was trying to help her at the first, and by the time going, like she was showing her some news and something he never been experiencing in his life, or probably some old school thing, or probably even some new thing they both never experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time going, like Harold start like building
He becomes less of a corpse
yeah, yeah,
and more of a person.
gradually Harold found out like he's in love with Maud. And probably like Ma thinks she's too old to be with him, so she refused.
Uh,
That's like so far.
it doesn't look like she refused him.
No, for
She's
probably
oh
this is like half of the movie, like she
oh
refused, and the
oh
other half is how Harold actually got her.
okay. Okay.
What are your
Fair
guesses?
guess. I don't know. Something along the same lines as Rex. She brought him out of, like what I said before, his shell, and brought life into his corpse-like mind and body. Um, but I don't know. I guess Maud intrigues Harold because there's the scent of both life and death on her. Like just physically, she's very old, but mentally, she's so young and so full of life, something that he never really feels himself.
Hmm.
So he's fascinated and intrigued by that. Um, I don't know what happens. I had a train of thought, but then it crashed and I don't know where it is now. Um, if it's a sad or a touching movie, I don't know. He does look underage.
That's beside the point, I think. I think
Yeah, that is very besides the point.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the film is creating like two characters or like two extreme situations to make a point, you know? It's not like anything to laud laud like size gap or not size gap, age gap in
yeah,
relationship.
age gap. Because like someone so young is someone so dead, while someone so old is someone so young.
It's more like yeah, using that dramatic effect to make a point. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So, do you want me to spoil this one?
So is it like in the end, is the movie trying to preach us something besides, love is love? It's trying to preach to us the way of life, a way of
Hmm.
life?
Hmm. You're pretty spot on with like the messages in like these films, I think. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So I guess I'll just say what happens like they met at a funeral or like a stranger's funeral because the guy is pretty obsessed with death, but for her it's more like doing things she's not done before, like anything that she feels like kind of like on a whim. And then like in the funeral they were just chit-chatting, but he was pretty resistant because he was like, who is this lady? Like he was a shell and he didn't want to interact. But she was like persistent in showing him what life is. And then I forget in which circumstance, but they fell in love. And like a majority of this film was them dating and the other people being confused and, you know, shunning them and like even his
Hmm.
family. He's also come from like a rich like background, and then his family previously was trying to get him to date, but he staged suicides in front of the girls, and they were weirded out by how he is. Um, but gradually, I think you like maybe he proposed or something, but then on her 80th birthday, she's like, "Oh, actually, I drank the poison because I felt like 80 is and should be my limit. I want to dictate how I die and when I die." Kind of like Chung Yao, like living a full life. Like she doesn't want other people to have a say in when and how she dies. And he was devastated. And by the end, like you see a car getting off a cliff, but that was his imagination. Well, and then like the clip changes to the car being right by the cliff and then him getting out and then walked away. Yeah.
So he kind of learns a lesson, but we don't know how Harold is after this.
But also, I was so moved by this film the first time. So I watched it a second time, like the day after. Like, even
Hmm.
in the film, too, like, she was sprinkling ideas about, like, surviving the Second World War and stuff. And then
Yeah.
in one of the scenes, like, the daisies, see the, like, flower field, like, on her wrist, there's, like, marks and, like, tattoos of, like, Holocaust survivors, and you knew that like maybe because of her past, she treasures her present. That's why she wanted to live her life the fullest because she was a Holocaust survivor. And then like even the funeral they first met, like there were hints. She was like, I feel like 80 is the right age to die, right? 75 is too early, 85 was too late. Like there were hints at the very beginning of the movie, but I was so engrossed by the plot. The first time watching it, I didn't realize that that's her telling us that that's what's
Mhm.
gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I
It was
think
so good.
the movies that you chose today are all really interesting. Like
Yeah.
just looking at the cover, I or the poster, I definitely would have watched it, but if you somehow, recommended it to me, I definitely would have.
I
But now
think
I know too much.
next time if we're gonna do this, maybe I will just not give anything away at the end. I'll maybe like paste like a synopsis when I'm editing, and then just for the YouTube video to have the spoilers, but not for you to have the spoilers, so you can maybe
That
watch them
works too,
yourself.
but I also want to know. Like it's so interesting. You want to see if you got it right or not. You can't be like just leave me hanging for all four movies. That's cruel. Um, but that was really interesting. Which one is your favorite one? Like if you were to watch it, like to pick.
Which one would you watch, I guess? Which one or ones?
I didn't know what's going on the first one.
Yeah, the first one, I think I wouldn't watch the first one either. I don't know. It's
Just
too
pick out of
smoldering stillness.
just pick out of two, three, and four, I guess.
I'll go with two.
Two?
Yeah,
Which one was two again? The
Swindler.
The
the
Lady Eve.
Swindler one? Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to watch that one too. But Yanjiku also sounds interesting, but I also feel like I know too much of the plot and I can guess a lot of the dialogue. So, but I can watch like a 解说 or a Lapierre. I feel like that would also be good.
Mm.
Harold and Maude probably also a 解说. But maybe the swindler one. I want to see how he gets swindled. That sounds interesting and very strong psychologically. So I want to. Maybe we can watch that later. Yeah.
Harold and
Um,
Maude, it's so good. Like you just have to see it, but I just spoiled it for you.
it does sound like a special little gem. Like you want to see what the dynamics are, how they interact, and how, their mindsets change. That would be interesting too. But I feel like it's a more alone movie. Like I would watch it alone.
Yeah, the second
But
time I watched it alone, I did manage to shed a few tears, even on aftertaste.
oh God. Um, yeah. What's your favorite one out of these four?
Um, Honestly, I like them all. Like maybe this one and Rouge, I think, and the Lady Eve. Two, three, four are also like, yeah, I favor them more than the first one. So the first one I watched it like in fragments. I was like, first 20 minutes I watched it and then fell asleep, and then that's
Yeah, it
no
does
way of watching
sound kind of like a good movie to fall asleep to, not
in
gonna
a
lie.
way because the guy was just rambling a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's a lot of his own pouring his heart out and saying
Hmm.
what he's thinking, that kind of
Hmm.
narration.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rouge last night, I was thinking about Rouge. I saw the trailer again. I was like, damn, that's a perfect movie. Because when I first watched it, I gave it like 4 out of 5. And then last night, rewatching the trailer or watching the trailer for the first time, I was like, damn, it's a perfect movie. Like it's 10 out of 10, actually. And Harry and Ma, like straight away, I knew it's really good. Yeah, I was like 10 out of 10, no notes, like zero notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I sometimes like Rex and I both we steer clear of romance movies when we hear it's like a romance movie we're like, yeah. But honestly, we miss a lot of good movies that way. I think him especially because I watch a wider genre, but he's like only into horror mostly.
All right. I guess Harold Mod is kind of
And sci-fi
terrifying.
and action. Yeah.
It's kind of terrifying because the ways he fake death are creative. So like, yeah.
Maybe we will watch it. Yeah, we'll let you know if we watch it. But this week I went and watched哪吒 2.
Did you
And
start shipping characters?
of course, I was shipping them in the first movie. Like, of
Okay.
course. Of course
Okay.
I would ship them. Um, but in the second movie, like they're so much more shippable, like even more shippable than the first, which was but I had high expectations walking into the movie theater, but I cannot believe that the movie exceeded my expectations, is what I'm saying. Um, of course, it's like it's an animation. It's a, fun family movie. It's not gonna be perfect in terms of plot and everything, but it's good. It's a good watch. I really liked it, and I didn't feel like it was 2.5 hours. It didn't feel that long at all.
Mm,
So you can go watch it too if you have time.
I
I
won't. I'm saying no to all
oh,
the blockbuster movies, like
okay.
all. So I won't.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I did really like it. But if you watch like last week we were talking about Companion, right? The
That one
horror
I
movie.
might because it's not a blockbuster and the retro aesthetics look good. So
Yeah, it does look good. It
yeah.
does look pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Who would you
I
pick as a husband from哪? Like one of my coworkers asked that question to other coworkers.
as a husband,
Uh-huh. As a spouse.
Li Jing. Yeah, that was what I was.
My coworker was confused by that. She's like, he's a dear, like
She doesn't understand the benefits of
yeah.
Dias are hidden gems.
That's a mayor.
Mm, well, if you think of it that way. But either Li Jing or Albion, I'm thinking. No, not actually Albion. That guy. Guang.
Who's that? I don't know any
He's Albion's dad. He's Albion's dad, the super sexy, hot-looking dragon
the
king.
DILF.
He's not even a dilf. He keeps saying, "I'm so old," but he's like, he
DILF.
looks. Go search it right now,
DILF.
right now.
He's a mod.
Guang.
He's a
Oh,
mod and yeah, he's a mod. But
no, go search it right now. All the animation like snapshots are so they're just so lifeless, you know? I was looking at the Nora poster and I was like, I'm not sure if I really want to watch this even because it just doesn't look as the characters just don't look that nice. But once you step into the theater and you actually see them moving, it's so different. Like everyone comes alive and no one's, bad looking or looks weird. Everyone's amazing.
Alguan
That
looks
was
pretty
that was
young, actually. Okay.
Yeah, he looks young, but he's very old and he's like shogwa and loyal. He's strong. He's cool. He's sexy. What more do you want, right?
All right. I'll make sure to have his photo be
Rex
up.
is nodding. Yeah,
On screen. Okay,
he
so
agrees.
Alguan
Yeah.
is your official answer. I'll make sure
Yes,
to
all gone.
tell my coworker about your choice, even though she
All
doesn't
gone,
like
but
me.
also Li Jing, you know?
Okay,
You
okay.
want wise old men. All being young. Not old, but wise men, you know? Wise, sexy looking men. You don't want wise old men.
Got you, got you. So
Yeah.
saying no to the gilfs out in the world.
Uh, that was fun. But I love your slides. They're beautiful.
Thanks.
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, I chose the fonts and
Right? It's all very pretty. Yeah.
I wish I could make money out of doing PowerPoints. A
You
load.
could,
A load.
Taobao, but you have to sell for really cheap first.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right, let's say bye for now because I gotta go to work. It's 9
Yeah,
a.m.
thank
in the
you for
morning.
waking up. Thank you for waking up so early today.
All good, all good. The time difference is a killer, but we can conquer it by way
Yes.
of 如花 and 陈正方盈. Okay.
Getting in touch. Yes. 如花成真风. They're verbs now. They're just verbs to us now.
Peace. In touch.
Yes. See you next time.